Okay, we're at the Imagine Bookshop in Weymouth today. I'm talking to Alex Woodward, who's just published a book, Haunted Weymouth. So how did you come to write the book?
Well, in 2009 I started the Weymouth Ghost Walks. I've had a long-held interest in all things paranormal and local history, and we'd always enjoyed going on ghost walks when I was on holiday anywhere, so I thought, well, let's start one in Weymouth. And then last year the History Press asked me to put my ghost walks into words.
Into the book. And how long did it take you to write? Was there a lot of research involved, I guess there would be?
There was a lot of research. I mean, some of the research I'd already got from when I was doing the ghost walks, and how I got my research was literally walking into places and say, hello, I want to do a ghost walk, have you got any ghosts? Almost as basic as that, and also looking at local legends, people, just telling me their experiences. It took in all about 10 months to write, because there was a lot more to writing the book than there is to actually just telling it as a story, and then collating pictures and putting it all together in some sort of coherent manner.
Where did you get the pictures from? Were they?
Oh, I took the pictures.
You took all the pictures yourself? Did the text and the pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us about any little places that people could go to themselves?
What places from the book?
Yeah.
Well, we've got such a wide variety in Weymouth. I do say to people on the ghost walks, you literally can't walk 3 feet in Weymouth, or Melcombe Regis, because don't forget at one time it was 2 separate places. You can't walk 2 feet or 3 feet without falling over some kind of like ghost or paranormal happening. Buy the book, have a look. But we've got things in there such as a haunted chip shop, so that's quite, a haunted chip shop. And we have obviously the North Fort, the Black Dog, such a vast variety of ghosts, right from Roman soldiers through to the things from the Second World War. Such a great range of paranormal. It's not all happening in pubs, it's not all happening in castles. There's a couple of places that you would think never in a million years were haunted, but they are extremely active. So it's actually quite surprising the amount of places.
Why do you think that is?
There's a lot of schools of thought about it. One school of thought says that any traumatic incident or high emotional happenings will imprint themselves.
Like a recording?
Yeah, almost like there's the stone tape theory, which is almost like a recording, but again, another school of thought is something that's really emotional, or a person that's had a real emotional experience there. If there is such a thing as a spirit when you die, will come back to that place. That's a place where they've really loved, or a place where something tragic's happened. Some people say it's unfinished business. There's lots and lots of reasons. All I've tried to do in this book and on the walks is to tell the stories that have been told to me, and I leave people to make up their own minds.
Right, that's the best thing to do. So, have you got a website that people can buy the book from?
Well, you can come down to Imagine Books
in
St Albans Street. If you'd like any more information on the Ghost Walks or myself or the book, then look on www.weymouthghostwalks.co.uk.
And you can personally sign a book for them if they order it through there?
If they would like that, I'd be most happy to.
Okay. Can you buy it through Amazon or anywhere else?
Yes, all good bookshops and all good online retailers.
And they can also, that's the cover, they can also hear a podcast I did with you a couple of Halloweens ago.
Yes.
On my podcast. You'll find a link to that on my my YouTube page.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
that was when I just started doing the ghost walks, and lots of things have happened actually on the ghost walks. The book is it's a compilation of of stories that have been told to me, but there's also some personal accounts in there. We've been very lucky on some of the ghost walks to have some quite unusual and unexplainable things happen, so obviously I'll put them in the book as well. And if anybody is interested in the history of Weymouth, it's quite good as well, because I've included, what I've tried to do is to look at the history behind some of the ghost stories to see if there could be a reason, such as what we're talking, why do you think it happens? Well, I've looked to try and see if there's a reason why. Sometimes there just isn't. And I'm very pleased to say that this book as well is the only one that pulls in all of the Weymouth stories. There's lots of ghost books about Dorset. You'll get an odd story about Weymouth or an odd story about Portland. This one pulls them all. It's the very first compilation. And as well as Weymouth, we've got Abbotsbury, very haunted place, Warmwell, Portland, and Lulworth, and Chickerell, some of the outlying outskirts as well.
Right.
So,
do you think there's a darker history of Weymouth that's not told?
There is a very dark history to some areas. I've found, if I was to draw a line, there's obviously, let's look at Weymouth as two separate towns, because up until the intervention of Queen Elizabeth I, you had Weymouth, which was over on the south side of the harbour, and where we're sitting now was Melcombe Regis. I've actually found that there is a very dark undercurrent, but it's more darker on here. There are more sort of what I would term as nasty ghosts, and quite disturbing things happen in the Melcombe Regis side than there is over in the Weymouth side. But oh yes, very, very dark history.
I remember the story of the Black Dog, about the landlord there who, I believe, killed his wife.
There's been several murders in the Black Dog, both of which are explained in the book, and one of the murders echoes still to this very, very day. The Black Dog, I would actually say, while the Boot is supposed to be the most haunted pub in Weymouth, the Boot is the most haunted pub in Melcombe Regis, in my experience. And when I was in there talking to the author, the landlord, collating all the sightings and the information, I was wearing quite a large necklace, big pearl beads, and all of a sudden it just dropped. And I was a bit disappointed. I thought, oh, it's broken. But then when I picked it up, it wasn't broken. Somebody or something had physically come behind me and opened up the lobster claw, and it was definitely fastened, and it was like, oh, thank you very much, just to let me know that perhaps we were there. Yeah, so very, very interesting experience. I don't claim to be like a medium or psychic or anything like that, but yeah, things have happened. But I do try and look for a rational, but it's interesting.
So if people want to know more about Haunted Weymouth, buy your book.
Buy my book. Yes, yes.
Okay, thanks a lot for the interview.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Happy reading.